Oh man, this is gonna be really good. Goes at Car Free Day today on Main Street. Keep watching.
Coming up, Car Free Day.
You know, if you remove cars from the equation, some really beautiful and fun things can happen.
Upcycling like a boss.
To save something and save your money.
And finding food in the forest.
So this is called a violet port. You can eat them if you really want to, but they taste like ashtray.
Welcome to Go On Shot TV. I'm your host, Paul McClellan. Today we're at Car Free Day, specifically the Main Street location. It's one of 4 they've got around Vancouver right now, where it's all about getting around without a vehicle, enjoying the company of your fellow Vancouverites, and just having a good time out here in the streets.
Car Free Day is about community. It's about reclaiming the streets from vehicle traffic, and kind of just opening it up for whatever happens, right? And it's about making the point that if you remove cars from the equation, some really beautiful and fun things can happen. And we're also in the midst of climate change, so these kind of points need to be made, and these kind of actions need to be sort of embarked on.
What's your favorite part of the day?
Not having to walk on the sidewalk.
It's really encouraging to come out and see, like, this is our community. Like, these are the people that live in my neighborhood, and I don't know any of them, but we're all out here together enjoying the sun, and it's amazing.
Everyone's out here having fun. There's like free food, there's like lots of fun games, and get cotton candy.
Yeah, we're just little kids skateboarding right there. It was fantastic.
The kids love it. They can walk out in the middle of the street like we're doing right now, and it's a nice break from the usual car and all the congestion and all the stuff that goes on a regular Sunday, so it's nice.
Eating popcorn.
There's so many little nonprofits in the area who this is like their big day, that they come out, they do a tent every year. These really like local community focused initiatives. In general, anytime I walk by a group of kids at one of these booths, being engaged with, making buttons, having their faces painted, that's the kind of stuff that like warms my heart on Car Free Day.
What do you personally love about this day?
Yeah, I mean, this is, I grew up at 39th and Main, so this is my community. When I was growing up, I never saw events like this. And, to be able to, as a volunteer, help, bring this kind of positivity and this kind of, fun and action to the street I grew up on, it's great. I honestly believe that these communities, Main Street, as well, could do with a few less cars, right? Widening of the sidewalks, better bike lanes, that would lead to a nicer Vancouver all year round. Less cars on the road, more pedestrians, more interactions. That's the point we're trying to make.
We'll be visiting more stops here at Car Free Day throughout the show, but up next we're going to meet a man who's trying to save the environment with his eco-friendly printing options.
Well, I've known Jay a few years, and I've never met someone so driven to exceed, and it's quite contagious when you're around a man like that.
Driven, ambitious, and hardworking. These are only a few words that can describe Richmond's Jason Gagne.
When I was young, I did all kinds of jobs, like mowing the lawn or blowing the snow or raking the leaves.
Jobs that many young people do to get extra cash, but for him, it was all part of a bigger plan.
I always knew I was an entrepreneur.
Armed with that entrepreneurial spirit and $500 in his pocket, Jason left his home in Quebec 14 years ago and moved west.
I left with a dream and a vision, and I follow my instincts, and something was leading me out west.
He didn't know what that thing was, but working various jobs, including one at the organic cereal manufacturer Nature's Path, gave him a clue.
I did print buying for them, and at that time I realized that there's really nobody offering one-stop shop for eco-friendly printing.
And that's how Greener Print Solutions was born.
We're a sustainable print shop. So we're a one-stop shop for eco-friendly printing.
From sourcing chloride-free Canadian-made paper to using green and sustainable inks, Jason successfully created a unique niche for his business.
The printing industry, I believe, is the second biggest industry in Canada. It's huge, the amount of printing that people do. We print everything, and it's all of our lives, and a lot of it makes it to landfill. So we have options for that. We'll take back the printings, which is a take-back program, or provide a product that's recyclable or biodegradable.
Printing by nature is a very ungreen field, and the fact that we can actually make a difference by using more recycled products, using materials that actually do not harm the earth in the process is one of the best things about Greener Print to me.
So when people talk about green ink, what is green ink? What is it made of?
Well, our inks are either vegetable-based or water-based. The most important thing that we look for is no VOCs, which is the volatile organic compound, which is the toxic stuff that's emitted from print. This is not only bad for the consumer, but it's also bad for the staff. The people that are actually operating these machines day in and day out, and every day they have to work in that kind of environment.
And that's the environment that Jason is trying to change through education.
We would love to change the printing industry in itself. Those are the things that we do with our clients. We try to educate them on what the process is and what they could do to buy more green.
Knowing him as I do, and seeing where this company began as more of an idea in his brain to where we are now, that's the inspirational part.
Inspiration that will encourage people to go green and pave the way for future generations. In Richmond, I'm Jeannie Tozy for Go on Shaw TV.
To find out more about what Jason does, check out greenerprintsolutions.ca. Now stick around, we got lots more from here at Car Free Days on Go.
Up next, an expert upcycler.
I use remnants. It's just not being wasteful.
And a mushroom hunt.
You want to smell it, you want to break it, you want to pretend you're a scientist.
Hello, here we are again, the 26th season of Bard on the Beach. And what a season it is. The Comedy of Errors, a steampunk version. Tremendous fun. King Lear, a classic rendering of Shakespeare's great tragedy. A musical adaptation of Love's Labour's Lost. And a world premiere of Shakespeare's Rebel. Tickets are at bardonthebeach.org. Buy them soon. See you here.
Welcome back to Go on Shaw TV, Car Free Day. We're checking out the Vancouver Skateboard Coalition setup here. Mel's joining me. What are you guys out here? It is Car Free Day, but it's also a cool day in the skate community, I understand.
Yes, it's International Go Skate Day. So we're out here having fun, skateboarding. The whole community is out, and it's been an amazing day.
And what's the Vancouver Skate Coalition all about?
Well, we're advocate of skateboarding in the city, and it's about, keeping it safe and everyone like skateboarding all together. And so we're, advocate for skateboarding in the city.
Do you guys have a website?
We do, and we're on Facebook, Instagram, and we're also out here with Antisocial Skate Shop and Plan 9 set up the ramp, and it's amazing.
You guys are everywhere. Look them up at home. Now, our next story, we've been talking about green all day. It's an interesting person who's been into upcycling for a very long time. She's eco-friendly, and she's in her 80s.
Her hands feverishly move the needles under and over, placing the yarn in a new space and connecting it to the previous loop. 86-year-old Inta Short learned how to knit at the age of 11.
When I was a child, we didn't have as much as we have nowadays. And then, of course, I lived through World War II in Germany.
Inta knit during her younger years, both for entertainment and to wear new clothing. She's lived through many financially trying times, as well as in several economically challenged countries. But even though she moved to Canada 36 years ago, she still chooses to knit and quilt, recycling and upcycling wherever she can.
I don't go and buy for $200 worth of cotton material and then cut it up. I use remnants. It's just not being wasteful because like all those war years in Germany, there was nothing available. So you made things that you had on hand.
Recycling for the better of the environment and upcycling for the creative aspect may be popular now, but Inta has been doing both for most of her life. She even makes a lot of her own crafty clothing.
I have problems with what people throw out.
So Inta, this is one of the many vests you've made. What did you make it out of?
Well, this is remnants from a dress I didn't fit into anymore. And
that's the gray part?
That's the gray part, the inside, and this is from some pants.
Ties. This kind of is the lining?
Yeah, that's ties because that's a useless piece of clothing that men,
I guess, only certain businesses
no longer wear that much. So, but they're pretty.
Inta suggests we all take a look at what we throw away and see if it can be used for something else. Today, she's getting ready for a neighborhood garage sale, passing along items she can't find use for anymore.
We throw things out that are too valuable and are reusable, and people don't understand. They think it's work. It's not. It just gives you peace of mind to save something and save your money.
Even at her age, Inta has no intentions of slowing down or stopping her devotion to finding new uses for older items. She encourages everyone to give it a go, but to keep persistence in mind.
Even if we want to do something, it doesn't always come as easy to your hands and your actions as it comes into your mind. So just be patient and try. There are too many people who think, oh no, I can't do it, I couldn't do it. Well, if they don't try, no, they can't do anything.
Inta credits keeping house, a love of reading, and her upcycling creations for keeping her active and involved. Although she can't think of anything she hasn't made but still wants to, she will continue to upcycle materials until her final day. In Langley, I'm Tiffany Gurdon for Go on Shaw TV.
Thanks for sharing that story with us, Tiffany. Now, from the upcycle to the outside, did you know there is a feast of food options for you in the wilds of BC? Corinne Skalbeck is going to take us for a hike through the woods to identify some of those edible options for you in the wilds of BC.
We take people out for culinary adventures. It's like a treasure hunt.
And the treasure we're in search of is not a plant or animal. In fact, this wild edible belongs to its own kingdom. Foraging for food is free, and it allows you to see the forest in a different way.
When you go out for a hike, it's exercise. You're not looking at the ground. Whereas when you're mushrooming, you're really, you're focusing on the ground and you're seeing all these like bright colors and really interesting things that are popping out. So it brings you into that connection with nature that I think a lot of people in the city are lacking.
I've always been into sort of doing stuff naturally and understanding where you get the food from and like how you can safely go out into the woods and pick some food, whether it's trees or mushrooms or whatever it might be.
If you're about to embark on your very own culinary adventure, there are a few things to keep in mind.
you can't actually harvest from BC parks. And also you want to look at the whole mushroom, so you actually want to dig the mushroom up from the bottom so you can see the whole length of the mushroom. You want to smell it, you want to break it, you want to pretend you're a scientist, right? So you're going to break down that mushroom and really get into the idea of it.
And if, after examining your mushroom, you still aren't 100% sure what it is, don't eat it.
I don't want to get too fungophobic because there's only a few mushrooms out there that can actually poison you. There's more plants out there that can poison you than mushrooms. So this is called a violet court, and these ones are what I like to call starvation food. So you can eat them if you really want to, but they taste like ashtray, like licking an ashtray or burning hair. So it's just not worth it.
Foraging for fungi in the forest is pretty cool. And it feeds into that whole hunter-gatherer human instinct thing.
This is a pine mushroom, so matsutake, and that is sometimes $100 a pound in the grocery store, so a really expensive culinary mushroom. It's really hard to find these mushrooms because they hide under moss. There's stuff out there that's just like, that tastes better than the grocery store, right? Because you were picking it fresh right out of the forest, and it's got those like lovely foresty smells, and it's just, kind of doesn't get any fresher than picking stuff out of the forest. If you don't like mushrooms, it's probably because you haven't eaten any wild mushrooms before.
If you want to learn more about identifying wild edibles, check out Swallowtail Tours. On Cypress Mountain in Vancouver, I'm Corinne Skalbeck for Go on Shaw TV.
Stick around, don't go anywhere. We got lots more from Car Free Day here on Go after the break.
After the break, a new kind of transportation sharing.
You have your front brakes and your back brakes, and you have your pedals.
And a good old-fashioned Soapbox Derby.
Oh, yeah!
The Canada Day Parade, presented by Port Metro Vancouver, starts at 7 p.m. from the corner of Broughton and Georgia Street, heading east on Georgia and north on Burrard Street. Don't miss over 50 participants, including marching bands, floats, and multicultural groups, celebrate our nation's 148th birthday. Following the parade, don't miss the Coast Capital Savings Canada Day Fireworks Show with 2 barges, one in Cole Harbour and one in West Vancouver. There are multiple viewing locations, including Stanley Park, Cole Harbour, Harbour Green Park, Crab Park, as well as West Vancouver. For more information on the Canada Day Parade and Coast Capital Savings Canada Day Fireworks Show, please visit canadaplace.ca/Canada Day.
Welcome back to Go on Shaw TV. Today we're at Car Free Day on Main Street. Now we're talking about car free, but if you are going to use a vehicle, how about that ever-growing phenomenon of car sharing? Have you tried it? Well, this next story introduces us to a new way of sharing vehicles that's being introduced in 2016.
There's a growing trend of people not getting a driver's license.
You know, over 50% of people 18 to 25 don't have their driver's license in North America today.
Instead, there's an increase in busing, biking, and sharing.
Car sharing has been extremely popular here.
But tucked away in Railtown, Vancouver's newest vehicle sharing system is being developed.
Bike shares exist, but they've got issues. You know, they're not electric assists. You're still having to put on a helmet. whereas something like this can really protect you from the elements, make it so you can wear a suit or a dress when you're riding on your way to work or to get your errands done.
This is the first prototype of a Velocar.
So this is a 3-wheeled, electric assist, pedaled vehicle, fully classified as an electric bike in North America, but it's going to be fully enclosed and provide car-like functionality.
It will also be narrow enough to fit a bike lane, will travel up to 30 kilometers per hour, and won't require a driver's license to use.
You have your front brakes and your back brakes, and you have your pedals, and you just sit down and you go.
Cody Baker is one of 4 co-founders of the Velocar. In early 2016, you'll see these vehicles on the street as part of Velo Metro Mobility, a service that will be similar to existing car-sharing models.
So you'll be able to unlock it with your cell phone and drive it for 10 minutes and just be charged for the time that you're using it, and drop it off at the other side and go on your way. We've designed this to be really easy to use.
To get a real feel of the Velocar, Cody let me test ride their prototype.
As you put any effort into the pedals, any torque, it's going to sense that, and it's going to apply electric power to the wheel behind you, and you're going to take off.
Whoa, you can feel that kick. A bit of a sharp break. It's definitely different than a bicycle. This is fun.
Cody says the cost to use Velo Metro will be about 25 cents a minute, which is roughly 60% of what Car2Go is marketed at. The first set of Velocars will be rolled out at a local university in 2016 and will launch shortly after in the city of Vancouver.
And once we establish that our model works and that the vehicles work in Vancouver, we think it's a natural progression to go down the coast.
Wow, well that is a lot of fun. I think when this comes out in 2016, I'm gonna have to join Velo Metro. In Vancouver, I'm Jen Moranitz for Go West Coast.
Velometro.com is the website if you want more information about that one. Now, eco-friendly cars aren't always associated with the thrill of racing, but out in Mission right now, they're racing vehicles that don't even have an engine at all. Turns out it's still pretty darn exciting.
3, 2, 1, go.
What started in the 1930s as the kiddie car race has continued to thrill young adrenaline junkies decades later. But the interesting part about soapbox racing is the cars aren't actually cars at all.
Soapbox Derby cars are gravity driven. There's no engines whatsoever, no gas, no electricity, and it's like a push cart without an engine. It's like take the go-kart, take the engine out, and let gravity overtake it.
With a variety of colors and designs, the annual Soapbox Derby in Mission held around 30 racers ages 8 to 14. Some were experienced racers, and others were still getting used to the steering.
What do you think the biggest challenge is going to be? Do you think it's going to be hard?
Keeping in a straight line.
Keeping in a straight line? Do you have a strategy to do that?
No.
No, you're just going to hope for the best, cross your fingers?
Go down the steep hill, probably the first time. But the other few times, you're going to be okay.
We did a little practicing around our road. I just gave him a push and let him go, and he can keep it straight so far, and he hits the brakes, so hopefully it works out.
But it wasn't just the kids having fun this year. In fact, the event kicked off with a special race rivalry. Mayor Henry Braun of Abbotsford versus Mayor Randy Hawes of Mission.
It doesn't look that steep from here, but when you're at the top looking down, it's sort of like being on a ski hill. You know, you look from the bottom, it looks pretty tame. And then you get to the top and you look down and it's like, oh, wait a minute now.
Oh, yeah!
It was exciting. I've never done this before, but having done it for the first time, I'd do this again. I'd like to go a little bit faster. I was a little nervous about the steering, but I got the hang of it pretty quick, so it was great.
I just love giving back to my community and working with the kids and just having a great time. It's one of those events that I wish that I was able to participate in when I was younger.
So if you're like Russell and is interested in racing or even helping out, then check out their website. In Mission, I'm Danny Gonsalves for Go on Shaw TV.
I think it's very funny. It's very, well, the whole thing was darn amusing to begin with, because who wants to do yoga on a big old dirty bridge?
I'm an advocate of yoga, but not of shutting down the city. And we have so much awesome green space all around.
Oh no, sounds kind of cozy. I'm not super sure about that. No, I didn't think it was a good idea.
Everybody was against it, but I actually kind of thought it was not a bad thing, personally.
I thought it was outrageous that the provincial government should hold it on the same day as National Aboriginal Day. I was offended.
Never done yoga, so I never really put much thought into it.
It doesn't disappoint me. I wouldn't mind if they went ahead with it either. So nothing gained, nothing lost.
A fundraiser for charity.
Any good reason. It doesn't bother me to close the bridge at all.
I'd probably not close it down. Probably try and keep it open for people to skate around easier.
Oh, yoga sounds fun.
Maybe I would close it down for a kids festival or, I don't know, food trucks.
That is a very good question. Well, that's, I can't answer that. I don't know.
I might do yoga.
Have a big World Cup party. That's what I think we'd do on it.
I would even suggest closing it down for the night and having a big party, a Vancouver party. Here we come. We're now in the 21st century.
Get money to rain down on and snakes. How about a dance party?
Great to have you on the Go team, Fiona. Welcome. Now for you folks at home, there's a cool contest on her show where you can become a panelist on one of her lowdown segments. Go to shaw.ca/Fiona Forbes to get all the details on that. Now Car Free Day is just about to wrap up here, but there's a cool event you can check out this weekend. It's called Golden Spike Days. We'll have live coverage on Shaw TV from that from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday night, but it's happening throughout the weekend, so get out, check it out if you can. But that's it from here. I'm Paul McClellan, and on behalf of the Go team, we'll see you next time.